Hi everybody, this is Gery Deer with GLD Enterprises Communications, and this is one of a series of videos we're doing on the Great Marketing Triad. This is a concept we came up with a couple of years ago to help people understand the three legs of your marketing plan that need to be in place in order to get a good solid plan working for you. So we're going to do a quick overview of the three components here, and then we're going to break these up into other videos that will show you each individually some detail and how you can accomplish each one. So first of all, we're going to start with what is the Great Marketing Triad? Well, the three pieces of your marketing plan that really need to be in place are actually pretty simple. You have advertising, public relations, and networking. Now we're going to get into these just a little bit in detail, but I'm going to show you the pluses and minuses of these very quickly and how they relate to each other. All right, so first we're going to start with advertising here. It's probably the one thing most people know more about than the other two components. Advertising is designed for one purpose: to sell. That's it. It has no component of credibility whatsoever. Someone would argue that, well, I can put testimonials in my ads, that kind of thing. That's true, but people are smart. They still understand that this is just an advertisement. You could very well have paid for that testimonial. So this is designed for selling. The other thing that you need to think about with advertising is the most expensive of these three. All right? It carries the most cost of anything. You're going to buy TV, radio, broadcast, internet, whatever kind of advertising you're doing. This kind of thing generates a lot of income if it's done properly. But it also costs a lot of money to make it work. So that also has a component there. The other piece of this is that advertising has the least people time involved. So we're going to give a little smiley face here. And very little involvement with people at all. You buy the ads, you may interact with a graphic artist, maybe a writer, some company like ours that puts the communication package together for you and then buys the ad space. So you don't do a lot of people interaction there. So there, again, your credibility is not being up very well. The other thing is this takes the least amount of time of all of these things. So here's our clock. That takes the least amount of time to do all of this, okay? So even though you may buy the ads and have them made, that takes time for someone else, but not necessarily for you. It takes much less time to do that than any of these other two things, okay? That's the quick overview of advertising. Let's move on to the next one. Here we have public relations, or most people call it PR, because that's the initials, right? Okay, so public relations is designed for a bigger purpose. It's designed for credibility. All right? Credibility is what you get when people believe that you know what you're talking about. You have some, we call it street cred now, or however you want to look at it. But this is what really generates the importance of public relations. It also provides a level of awareness that's different than advertising. Public relations comes from a vast array of activities. It can be anything from volunteering with a nonprofit to doing some great announcement about you're opening a new office or you've hired new people. That's all public relations work. It's very valuable. It also carries less money. It doesn't cost as much as advertising. It still costs. One thing I want you to get out of your head right now. This is not free advertising. All right? Public relations is not about free advertising. If people are telling you that, go somewhere else because they don't know what they're doing. Public relations costs money. It can cost a lot of money. It still is going to cost less than this does, but it's going to cost a lot of money. It also involves a little more people interaction because you're going to have to be out there in some aspect. You're going to be talking to people or you're interacting with somebody. So this is a little higher than that one. Okay, you're getting more interaction. It also takes a little bit more time. So we're going to give it another clock here. Takes a little more time. The involvement's more involved. How did I say that funny? But that is essentially what it means. You're going to be out there a lot more. So pay attention to how much time you spend on it, that the money is a little bit less, and you're going to have more people interaction, but the credential that you get from it is much better. It's more solid. Okay? So in the next coming videos, you're going to see more about PR because that's one of the things that GLD Enterprises specializes in. So you're going to hear more about that. Let's move on. In fact, we'll get a different color chalk for this. to networking. Now, I want to be clear. We're not talking about social media here. We're not talking about Facebook and Twitter and everything else. We are speaking specifically about people interaction, okay? Now, what does networking do for you? Well, it goes back to credit. So it provides you with credential. It provides you with a lot of credibility for your business and for yourself. Most people want to work with someone they trust. Networking helps build that trust among people. And also, networking is not what we think of it as most of the time. New business owners especially, or young people straight out of college, they've not really been trained how to network. The idea is not to go to a social function or some kind of a chamber event and start passing out your cards and collecting them and then marketing to those people like wildfire. That's not what this is about. Networking is about relationships. Relationships. That's networking. You're trying to build a relationship that will last you for a very long time. Now, obviously that leads into, it has more people interaction than our other two. Yes, we're doing this kind of old school here. More people interaction, and it takes a lot more time. All right, so we're going to give ourselves 3 clocks for this one. It takes a lot more time, but the benefits of this can often outweigh both of these put together. If you're not already a member of something like Business Network International or TBN, the Business Network, or some of these other organizations that are focused on networking, get involved with one. That's how you do that kind of thing. We're going to go in depth on networking also. That's something that I'm very skilled at. We're going to try to help you understand exactly what to do in networking and how it can benefit your business. So here we have it. Quick review. Advertising is designed to sell, costs a lot of money, has the least personal interaction, and takes the least amount of time. Now someone's going to argue it takes a lot amount of time. We'll get to that in another video. Public relations work. It is not free advertising. It is designed for credibility. It will cost a little bit less money than advertising, but still costs money. It takes a little more personal interaction, and it takes more time because there's more involvement for you. Finally, networking, once again, provides a credential, and it's based on relationships. It is not based on trying to sell things to people. You're building relationships so that that will be a long-term thing. It takes the most time and has the most personal interaction. Okay, that's your quick overview of the Great Marketing Triad. And one of our next videos, you're going to see each of these broken up. So we'll start with advertising, and we'll see you there next time. Thanks a lot.